Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and all of you potential Toastmasters out there. Welcome to the show. This is Wake Up with Toastmasters. I am the co-host, Ken Richardson, your Program Quality Director for District 115. And with me today is the lovely Phyllis Tribby, Distinguished Toastmaster and past District Director. Hi, Phyllis. How you doing?
Hi, Ken. I'm doing great. And I hope all of our public out there is doing great.
Me too.
Had a good time sitting here waiting to hear your comments. Please ask us the question. Tell us what you'd like to know about. Ken loves to do research.
Absolutely.
So he will put something together, whatever the training is. Ask us and we will deliver.
You bet we will, because you're absolutely right. I like to do research. I like to put together PowerPoints. So I know that sounds pretty weird, but it's true. So today I thought what we would do is to talk a little bit about the DCP and the performance report, the club performance report. Would do an analysis of how that flows together. And I'll tell you why I thought of that as a topic today. As you know, we're going through training for club officers. This is the second period, and I get a lot of folks who will say to me, well, wait a minute, I took this back in June or back in July, and I don't really need this again. And they don't understand how it fits with the DCP, and that there's a training requirement for twice yearly training of club officers. And that's largely because many clubs have their club officers or elect club officers serving for 6-month tenure, and then they have another election cycle. So TI has put into the DCP, the Distinguished Club Program, a requirement that you get points if your club officers attend both training sessions twice a year. Now, I hear a lot of people who say they need to stop that. What do you think about that, Phyllis? You think it's a good thing, or is this something that maybe is not working as well as they hoped?
Well, after 25 years and probably being a treasurer for 24 of those, I have been to many trainings twice a year. And I want to tell you that each person that does that training says something different, gives you a new idea, even in being the treasurer. I didn't learn anything new about treasurer, but I did learn that you can take your permanent treasurer's report and attach it to your agenda in the club website. And therefore, I don't have to have a folder on my desktop that says treasurer reports where I would file all of those. Those can go now. I can attach it and be done with it. If I need to go back and look at it, it's there. And then I was in one treasurer's report, the training session, where the gal actually took a check and took it from the beginning, and she had a person standing up there doing each job and how it was to be done. So there's always something new to learn. So if you were a visual person, she really brought that across. So I think training is good. And you get to hear questions, and maybe you've wanted the same answers, but didn't ask those questions. So I don't have a problem with it. I do love our new early bird, where people that have been or are in the current role can be in discussion with other people that are in that role. I think that was a really good thing to start.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. The early bird, for those of us who have been officers for an extended period of time, we've filled various officer roles. The early bird TLI is great, and what I like about it is you have to have that foundation, the basic foundation for the TI training. What they, TI folks may not know, but Toastmasters International gives us sort of the foundation PowerPoint. They did it for us this time. I didn't have to do it. But they give us the foundation of here are the things that you should be covering in your training for new officers. So all of the folks who attend the early bird know that foundation. They've had that foundational training. The thing about the early bird that's really great is it gets together those folks, those experienced club officers, to talk about their experience. What was the best takeaway? What did they learn? How do they approach things like increasing membership, retaining current members? So you have a lot of interaction on things that go beyond the foundation and an opportunity to learn from your peers. So I think that's really good. The rest of our TLI training, we try to offer at least 3, counting the early bird. And we had our online TLI last week, and this week we're going to have our in-person TLI on the 21st. The other thing that's changed that I'm very, very excited about and happy about is the fact that you can get training at another district and it will count. So if any of the 3 opportunities we have that are formal opportunities that our members can't attend, they can easily find a online training at another district. And I have tried to make sure I send that out periodically when I get information from another district, that a flyer or something about a TLI that they're putting on. Because some of the larger districts, like District 33, our neighbor in California, they have several training opportunities, and they're happy to have anyone come and sit in. So that really is a nice way to maintain some flexibility, because our members are all over the map when it comes to availability for training. As we've talked about before, we had about 60 people online last time. I think we've got about 40 people signed up for this Saturday. So there still are some training opportunities out there that our members need to take advantage of. So anyway, what I thought we'd do today is take a look at the Distinguished Performance Report, because a lot of people may not be familiar with, first of all, how to access the report. And anybody can access it. It's public information. In fact, you can even access it without signing in. Did you know that?
Oh, no, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Well, I say that's the old website. You could do that. I believe that's still true.
Got to test all these things with the new website.
Absolutely. I went to look for something the other day on Pathways, and I couldn't find it because it had changed. It wasn't where I was accustomed to it. So I'm still exploring that website. But let me show folks how to do this. Hold on 1 second here. I just want to make sure that we've got everything good. We have no one waiting to ask questions or anything. And then I'm going to share my screen. Okay, where are you? Where'd you go? This technology just
too many things open on that desktop.
I know there are too many things open. Let me go find this again. And it's weird because what happens, for reasons I don't quite understand, is that and you may be right, too many things open, but it bumps off the thing I want, which is the TI website. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, this should be familiar to everyone now. This is your new landing page. It's called My Home, so it might be a little different. There's a certain degree of customization, but it'll look like this. You'll have these tiles that you can select from. You still have the menu options across the top, but they're different. They're not the same as they were before. So you just kind of have to play around with what you're looking for. And go from there. These tiles are the most common items that people look for, like, go to base camp. Excellent, no good. That's good. Learning hub, all of our resources in one place, the achievement board. What awards have you achieved? Leadership Central, we talked about this the other day with Club Central, District Central, and then excellent information on officer roles and tutorials. But you got to keep scrolling, okay? You get down to this section and it says from the organization to you. It's like a gift. What, this is a gift? But this is where you want to go. Here you find some other things we've talked a little bit about. Meeting tools. This is the automated counter and timer and what have you. It's the online version. You remember, Phyllis, the sheets you print out when you have new members who are playing roles? You still do. They're still there, but this is all online that allows you to track it. And then, of course, the leader letter, Yodely, which we've talked about and is truly amazing. But here's where we're going today. We are going to distinguished performance reports. So when you click on that, here's what comes up. This is a list of all of the districts. I think there are 120 something in the world. This is all over the world. And you can see across the top, you can select a district. That's a drop down. The year is 2022, 2023, the fiscal year. The month is January. This is as of January 16th. So it was updated yesterday. And theoretically, this is updated on a regular basis. So you can also just kind of scroll down. Now we are in Region 2. This is Region 2. And there are 10 districts in Region 2. We are one of them, of course. And the other question I get down here at the bottom, you see District F. That doesn't mean they're failing, no. District F is Founders District. That's the district from which our founder, Ralph Smedley, created. So we are District 115 right here. So I'm going to click on that. And what comes up next is a summary of where we are as a district. So we can see that we have 49 paid clubs. Our base is 59. Our member payments, 801. Our base is 1783. And we don't have yet, well, it's not showing clubs that have reached distinguished in terms of the district, because you can see down here, the goals for the district to achieve distinguished is to have 24 clubs that achieve distinguished or better. Do you have any comments about this, Phyllis, or questions?
I think people need to know that the base is whatever the numbers were on July the 1st, because the Toastmaster year is July 1st through June 30th of the following year. So, and when we ended the year and started July 1st, we had 59 clubs.
Exactly. And we have lost some clubs over that time. So we're down to 49. So we have our task before us, cut out for us, that we need to get back up, hopefully beyond 59, at least to 60. But what I want to do now, so that gives you this, and then you can go down and select any club that you're interested in and review how they're doing on the DCP. So I'm going to pick on Storytellers right now, because they're a good club to help us with our analysis. So as you can see, on the top left-hand side, you're going to have the club alignment. So we are Region 2, as I mentioned, District 115. Storytellers is in Division A. We have 4 divisions, A, B, C, and D, and Area 1. Each division has at least 3 areas or 4 areas. So they're in Area 1, Division A, District 115. And they're doing very well. Storytellers is a club that we need to emulate. You can see their base is 37. To date, they have 35. Now, the other thing that folks get confused about is this required. You know, we just talked about the base and where they are to date. But then there says required 20. What that means is, and below that is an explanation, 20 members or a net growth of at least 3 new members. So they meet that criteria. They have 20 members. What people don't understand is that if you don't meet that minimum requirement of 20 or at least a net growth of 3 new members, you're not eligible to be recognized as a distinguished club. So keeping your membership retention, adding new members, these are important elements of achieving distinguished status in the DCP. Now, if we look over on the right-hand side, or I'm sorry, one thing else, just below that, you can see the date that this club chartered was 8/23/2017. Now, the thing here is they have already met the goals for distinguished status. At the club level, what we were looking at before was for the district level. At the club level, you reach distinguished when 5 of 10 goals, we have 10 goals at every club, is challenged to meet. And when you achieve 5 or more, you have reached distinguished status. At 7 or more, you are president's select distinguished, and at 9, you are president's distinguished. Anything to add to this analysis of this first top line report?
No, I don't think so. Yeah, each membership is different. So you can't go by what one of the others has. You must pull up your own personal club. I will say that this report is also known as the dashboard. So if you hear people talking about they went to the dashboard, you'll understand where they went. They went to look at the performance for the club.
Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. This is often referred to as the dashboard. Now, let's take a look at these goals. The first 6 are all educational goals. And that is consistent with our mission is to provide a supportive environment where our members can achieve those goals. And that means following pathways to get recognition for various projects and speeches that you've accomplished along the way. So the first 6 out of 10 goals are educational. And we'll take a look at these in a moment, but I want to review the rest of these first. The next 2 goals are membership. And the goal is to try and get 8 new members each year. And that's why you see this, it's a little bit of a trick. I think they just wanted to make sure 10 was a nice number. They wanted to have 10 goals. So we have get 4 new members and then get more new members, 4 more new members. That could have easily been accomplished to say, well, let's just get 8 members. But then that would have left us with only 9 goals. So we're going to have 10. So the first 6, educational. The second 2 are membership. And here's where we were talking about training. Club officers trained. And people that I've talked to will be confused about this because they'll say, well, I already trained in June or August or whenever it was, but there are 2 training periods. And here's where you find that. You have to get them both in order to get credit. So club officers trained June through August, that's the initial time period. As you mentioned, our fiscal year starts in July, and then you need to get at least 4 trained in the November through February timeframe. And that's the time frame that we are in now, is of course the November, February. We had our early bird on December 7th, then we had our online on January 7th, and we'll have our in-person this week. So you need to get those, and you can see the goal is to have at least 4 officers trained. But as a district, we all believe that more training is better. That's kind of the essence of what Toastmasters is about, is training and education lead to better communications and leadership skills. So we have an additional district incentive to get all 7 officers trained. And that's what you can see here in the first period. 4 is the minimum, but this club had 7. 4 so far they have in this period, so they've met the minimum criteria, but we still have this Saturday, and they have the potential to get all the way to 7 and qualify for the district incentives. Any comments so far that you want to add?
Well, I don't know whether it's the updated computer system or things have just greatly improved since I had to look at this report practically on a weekly basis. But when it says it's been updated to a certain date, it appears as though it has been updated. When I looked at this report back a few years when I was in leadership, it just didn't seem like you knew that there were things that were not appearing yet. So it appears as though with knowing that they had 4 officers trained already, that to me means that they are on the ball, that these reports are getting updated. And it wasn't because the leaders did not submit the information. International just didn't process it as quickly. So it seems like what's happening now is that the information is processed as the district leaders input the information. So you can really rely on this report to as a knowledgeable report and correct.
Yeah, I agree, because during the transition, when they were shifting from the old computer system to the new computer system, you really didn't have confidence that it was up to date. And especially true of getting educationals, and that's so vitally important. But now it seems you're right, that they have gotten the bugs worked out, at least on parts of it, and so they're up to date. The last portion of this, part of the 10, is one, to get your membership dues renewal in on time, and of course your club officer list. Get that done in on time. Again, because some clubs have elections every 6 months, others every 12 months. You want to make sure that you get that in. So collectively, then we have 10 goals. And if you can get all 10, that's just fantastic. You're going to be Smedley Distinguished Club, and you're just going to be sailing. Everything's going to be working on all cylinders. But I want to show you a little bit discussion more about the educational goals, because the educational goals are really part of what we're all about. They are 6 out of 10. And these are the goals that indicate our member achievement. So I want to talk about this, back up here a little bit, just real quickly, it won't take long. And you can see level 1 awards, and the awards, the goals that you're looking for go across all levels. So you want to get over here on the right, you see the goal is to get 4 level 1s. And that ensures that you're getting your newer members off to a good start. Of course, there's no reason why experienced members can't go back and add another pathway. I have a friend who, I think you probably know, Dwayne Wannick. He's now in Texas, lives in Texas. And Dwayne has done all 11 paths. Talk about an overachiever.
I need another path. I finished 3. And it's like, which one will you choose? Well, go in and pick one and just do it.
Yeah, just do it. So you get 4, and then they have 1, they need 3. And then level 2 awards, the goal is 2. You need 2 level 2. You need 2 more level 2s. And again, I think they just do this. So 10 goals is something that's easy. When you start getting odd numbers like, oh, we have 7 goals or 9 goals, it's a little bit, it doesn't stick with you as well. 10 is one of those numbers that just stays in your mind. So 2 more level 2s, then they want 2 level 3s. And then this one is 1 level 4 or a level 5 or a DTM award. So either of those will satisfy the 5th educational goal, but wait, there's more. 1 more at goal number 6, 1 more level 4, level 5, or DTM. So My point here is anyone can go to this table, check the status of where their club is, understand what it is they need to achieve those goals, and then begin working from there. Now, ideally, and I don't always practice what I preach. I admit I'm less than perfect, far less, but ideally, early in the fiscal year, July 1, the executive committee of each club will get together, develop a club success plan, and tie it together with the DCP. They will, the VPE, for example, will have identified those members who need what level in the Pathways program, the path that they're on, and make sure that he or she helps them get ready and that they're scheduled for a presentation to achieve that goal. The VP of membership will have a plan to recruit new members and retain existing members. And maybe it's a periodic open house, or maybe there are different special events, a speech-a-thon or what have you, that they will have to, as part of their strategy and all of that, and then training, making sure everybody's trained. And if they can't make what we have, the training opportunities in 115, they have another district. So all of those things start with a good club success plan and flow right into the DCP. Any comments there? We're almost, believe it or not, we got about 3 minutes left. Technically, we might run a little over. Any comments that you'd like to make on the DCP and how it works for our members?
Well, maybe membership dues. You know, it's a half a point. You have to get both of those to get your full point. And membership dues, as soon as it's time, like it's April the 1st, so all during March, we would be inputting dues. And it's not necessary to wait till all your club members have paid. As soon as they pay you, record it so that when you get to 8 paid members, you've got that half point. Oh, don't be thinking you have to wait on making payments for your members. Also, in my case, we had a low membership club in October. So we were not a we were not a legal club, let's put it that way. A recognized club. So
club in good standing.
Members. Now we have over 8. So it's up to me as the treasurer of that club to be sure that those 8 members get payment in March so that we can get that half point. You know, I've heard people say, well, we only had 7 members and we paid for them all. Why didn't we get that point? Well, this is it. You have to have 8 to get the half point. But if you have them now, get the payment in on time, get that other half point. And as me, I have them sure that the officer report was on time. So it's up to the treasurer to get that done. You got to work on it too.
Exactly. And you have to, I think it's probably a good idea at the beginning of the fiscal year, as I said, is to get, not just have your executive committee get together and come up with a club success plan, but to present that plan to your members and get their input. So you have the executive committee presents the plan, the club members ratify it, they know exactly what is expected for the current year, and then it's a matter of accomplishing those goals. It's easier said than done, because it's people are busy, and these things do take some time. But I think if you do that, you'll find yourself in a much better position by mid-year. You'll be on track to achieve the goals and to receive that recognition. Well, let's see, before we wrap up here, I do want to make some announcements, and that is this Saturday, as I mentioned, is the in-person TLI. It's going to be at the East Las Vegas Library starting at 10:30 a.m. The libraries are great places to use, but they don't open till 10. And then we're going to need a half hour to get set up and what have you. So anyway, if you need more information, you can email me. There's my email right there on the screen, and I will make sure that you get the information you need. And then coming up on the last Saturday of the month is game night. That's always a lot of fun. And there is a link to register for game night in the newsletter. So you might want to take a look at that. Let's see, is there anything I've forgotten, Phyllis?
Well, I just want to tell people that, District 115 is having their last training this Saturday. But that doesn't mean that if you haven't been able to reach any of those 3 trainings, you cannot be trained.
Right.
Contact Ken. He will give you ideas of what district you can go to. It doesn't matter whether you're trained in District 115 or in, South Africa. The training is the same. We all must use the material that comes from Toastmasters International. What will be different is their personal ideas, and that could be good for you. Get some different personal views of the particular office you're going to have. So please don't say, oh, well, I missed it and forget it. No, contact Ken. Let us help you find a place where you can get officer training, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Phyllis. I agree 100%. Let me know if you need assistance, and I will make sure to help you get the training that you need. I think that's it for today. We will be back next Tuesday. Of course, Phyllis will be here on Thursday with Scott, our Club Growth Director. Tomorrow, I think is Doris Tuckett will be here. Doris is the president of Toastmasters in the Kitchen, and she is helping to man the show with Jennifer. So Jennifer Smith, the Division D director. So they'll be here tomorrow. And then, of course, on Mondays and Fridays, our district director, Gene Williams, is the host. All right, that's it. So have a great, great day, everyone, a great weekend. Hopefully, if you're in District 115, I'll see you on Saturday. Keep in mind that that is not a hybrid meeting. It's all in person. Okay, all in person. Have a great one.
Yes.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.